Good morning and happy Saturday. Thanks for joining us on our quick start training. So my name is Melissa Street. If we're just meeting for the first time, I have been a part of this company now for 12 years. It's kind of crazy actually to think about it. I was 22 years old when a friend of mine introduced me to this opportunity. And I got to tell you, I was excited, nervous, and confused, all wrapped up into one. I don't know if that sounds familiar for anybody here right now. But I remember coming to my first quick start training and just sitting there taking notes and just kind of soaking it all in. And at the end of it, it just felt so good in my heart. A few things that stood out to me was the fact that this was a business I can build in the crevices of my schedule, because at that time I was a insurance agent selling home and auto insurance, and I made a decent living for myself, but that was my only source of income. And so God forbid if I got sick or if I couldn't go to work or whatnot, like the unpredictable things, I didn't really have a plan B. And so this became such a unique business opportunity that I get to call mine and you get to call yours. And then the other thing that stood out to me was that there was already a system in place. I mean, how many guys just like the sound of that? That you don't have to reinvent the wheel here. You just have to have a coachable spirit. And then the last thing was the fact that there was a lot of support. I didn't feel like I was doing it alone unless I purposely put myself in that position. But there was actually people, leaders willing to help me and coach me and mentor me through the process. And so if you're brand new to ACN, welcome to the family. If you're on here just so you can learn a little bit more as you make that decision, then I'm excited for you. So with that, I'm actually going to turn it over to a gentleman that I have a ton of respect for. We actually get to build this business together. And in status wise with ACN, he's a platinum regional vice president. He has spoken on many stages at our conventions, on podcasts. He's been featured in Success from Home magazine. And so with that, I'd love to turn it over to my business partner, Mr. Jeff Street.
Well, Melissa, thank you so much. Good morning, everybody. Happy Saturday. I know many of you guys probably had kids back in school, this week. Exciting times. But guys, let's give Melissa a big virtual round of applause for getting us started here today. And I'm excited to go through some information with you here this morning. Prior to us really diving into the training, my job is really just to give you a recap of the ACN overview that most of you probably heard this week, because we're big believers that repetition is the key to learning. And for me, I took a look at this business for the first time 18 years ago at a point in my life when I was frustrated doing what I was doing. I was a small business owner at the time, 26 years old. I owned a bunch of cell phone stores and did okay financially until my industry really changed outside of my control. Anybody like me ever been involved in something that's changed outside of your control before? I'm sure all of us at some point. For me, what happened was when Sprint bought Nextel, I lost half my income overnight, found myself bartending on the side, catering for a catering company, and really just praying for something different. When a good friend of mine shared this opportunity with me, I love the concept. I plugged into the system that you're going to hear this morning, extremely part-time in the beginning, but I did it consistently. And a couple months into it, I started to experience what's called momentum. 5 months into it, it really took off for me. In my 6th month, it exploded financially. And the next month, I actually sold my other business and never looked back. And now for the last 18 years, this has been the only thing that I've done, and it's absolutely changed my life. So I'm really passionate about the company, what it's done for Melissa and I. But let's go over the ACN opportunity and really who we are and how we do what we do and how this business can go out and work for you and your family. So ACN got started 31 years ago in 1993. Today, they've done billions of dollars in revenue, helping millions of people throughout the United States and Canada get connected to and save money on essential services. Now, what kind of services do we offer? Essential residential and business services that all of us use every day. Services like cell phone service, high-speed internet and television, gas and electricity, healthcare, home security, credit card processing, travel, identity theft protection, payroll and HR solutions, and business phone service. Now, if you look at this full buffet of residential and business services, how many would agree these are some of the biggest and fastest growing industries in the world, right? Industries that really aren't affected by the economy. My mentor told me 20 years ago, he said, Jeff, find something you like, make it your hobby. Find something the masses can't live without and make it your business. And that's why 18 years ago, I was in as soon as I saw the presentation. And if you look at some of the partners that we represent, this part excited me as well. We work with companies like ADP Payroll Processing, companies like Frontier, AT&T, Spectrum, DirecTV, Dish Network, Vivint Home Security, just to name a few. And with all of our services, anytime a customer is acquired, a meal gets donated and a child gets fed right here in the United States. So I love the fact that we can go out and make an impact on the bills of business owners and consumers, but we can also make an impact on our community. And speaking of impact, our flagship product, Impact Health Sharing, this is something I believe is an industry disruptor. And I just want to take a minute on this service because if you're a self-employed, if you own a business here in America, one of the biggest pain points in being an entrepreneur is health insurance. And we have something with Impact Health Sharing that I believe just looks better and feels better than traditional insurance. We're helping individuals, families, and small businesses save 30 to 50% on their healthcare costs. Matter of fact, if you're on this call and you use Impact Health Sharing, put in the chat how much money Impact saved you or your family. For my family, it saved us $8,000 a year. How much agree that moves the needle for an American family? It's comprehensive medical care, no network. You can go to any doctor you want anywhere in the country, unlimited free telemedicine 24/7. And we have the best wholesale prescription pricing literally in the entire industry. Now, the reason that ACN can do what they do with all these services is our business model. See, most service providers spend a lot of money on media advertising and internet marketing in order to get customers. What makes us different is we use independent business owners like you and I that have our own website, our own online store, where we can create more choices for consumers and an income generating opportunity for people just like us in the biggest and fastest growing industries in the world. Now, this is what the website looks like that you get when you become an independent business owner. So your customers can click on residential or business services, click on any of the services, and literally within seconds, get a quote for the service. This website's from the Texas Chiropractic Association. They're one of our fastest growing leaders. Your website would look like this, only would have your picture, your family's picture, or your company's logo on it. Now, to get started, it's $299 one time for somebody to start, own, and operate their own ACN business. The only operating cost at all is $25 a month. They set up the website, they host it, they update it, they do the customer service. All we do is create the connections. And here's how we make money doing so. ACN pays us 3 different ways. They pay us a monthly bonus. So every month they'll pay you a bonus based on the amount of services that get set up through your website. And a service is not a person, it's a bill. So if one person gets internet, electricity, and home security, well, that's 3 services. I know Lauren right now is helping a small business with 40 plus employees with their healthcare, because that's 40 plus services, even though it's one business. So the services can add up really quickly. And watch this, so can these bonuses. Any month that you refer 5 services, that's a $200 bonus, plus an additional $200 for every 3 services afterwards, and there's no limit. But the reason I said yes to ACN 18 years ago, and the reason that ACN has changed my life here today is residual income. How many of us just like the words reoccurring revenue? Every one of us doing something once, getting paid for it over and over again. See, ACN will pay you up to 20% of the commissionable revenue of a customer's bill month after month, year after year, for the life of them being a customer. And think about it. How long do people pay these bills for? Forever, right? You can pay off your home, you can pay off your car. How much you can never pay off your electric bill? You can never pay off your internet bill. I have customers that I signed up one time 18 years ago that are still paying their bill today, and I've gotten paid every month for 18 years based on a one-time conversation. And I look forward to 18 years from now, you being able to say the same thing to people. Now, the third way we get paid is through building a team, where you can introduce the concept to other people. It's the concept of leverage. John Paul Getty said it best. I'd rather have 1% of the efforts of 100 people than 100% of the efforts of myself. And all of us agree with that philosophy. Everybody does. But unfortunately, most people are the only person responsible for their income. And as long as you're the only person responsible for your income, it's so hard to ever get ahead financially. So what I love about ACN is it gives us an opportunity to build a team. And you're going to hear from an amazing power couple here today on how to build a team. They're going to teach you how to host a Zoom meeting. They're going to teach you how to invite people to that meeting. And here's what's great. Somebody will do that meeting for you. And at the end of the meeting, some people will want to save money. We call those customers. Other people want to make money and they'll join your team. And anybody that gets started and joins your team, as they go out and acquire customers, ACN will pay you a 4% overriding residual income on all of the customers gathered by the representatives in your team. And there's no limit to the amount of people that can join your team. And there's no limit to the amount of customers your team can go out and acquire. And our team has been the #1 team in the company for more than a decade in a row because of the system that you're going to hear about today. And we're beyond excited because next weekend is our annual leadership event where we have the top producers all throughout the country with our team, all flying in next Saturday to Dallas, Texas to do an incredible leadership summit next Saturday morning from 10 to 5. We're going to have 2 of the owners of ACN there. And guys, listen, it is not too late to get yourself to Dallas next week. And if you're somebody that wants to do something on a real high level with this, I believe that event next Saturday will put people 6 months ahead of the average person. But we've got a few people that are on here today that I'd love to just highlight and have them share their story, who they are, how long they've been doing this, and how many customers their team has so far. And they have no idea that I'm going to call on them. The first person's a rising leader. We promoted her to executive team leader last night. She doesn't know I'm going to call on her, but Marla Kearns, if you can unmute, I'd love to have you just share who you are, what you do for a living, and how many customers your team has, and congratulations on your promotion.
Thank you very much. And yes, you caught me off guard, Jeff. um, I am from Maysville, Kentucky, and I got started a little over a month ago. My husband is wanting to retire early. Well, not early. He's ready to retire. So we're hoping that this will happen within the next year. And we have, according to our team, I have 68 points. And just been doing it 4 weeks. And I am absolutely thankful, and I'm very blessed to be a part of this team. And I would not be able to do it without the help of this team.
Well, congratulations, Marla. 30 days in, 68 customer points. Guys, if your team hits 200 points in your first 90 days, they give you an additional $1,500 bonus for doing that. And Marla's way on track to do that, which is awesome. And so we had somebody that was brand new. Now I want to hear from somebody that's a seasoned vet in our business. Matter of fact, he's a regional vice president with our company, and it's Mr. Ken Potter. We'd love to have you share your story.
Hey, you bet, Jeff. My wife, Susie, and I, we looked at this a handful of years ago. At that time, we were traditional business owners, 5 kids, grandkids, spinning a lot of plates. But I like the idea of residual income. So we jumped in. The system that we learned today really helped us get to a place where over the years, we've got partnered up with over 1,000 people that have acquired over 10,000 recurring customers. And it's really, again, due to the training and the system that you'll see here in a second.
Well, Ken, love hearing your story. And Ken, how much money did you and your wife save by switching over to Impact Health Sharing?
Sure, we went from $1,800 a month, $1,800 a month with Blue Cross down to $600 with Impact.
Now, I'm not a mathematician, but I think that's about $14,000 a year in savings. How many agree that moves the needle for an American family? Now, guys, how many of you would like to have somebody like Ken on your team? See, there's so many people right now looking for opportunities, and you're going to hear an amazing training today on how to go out and attract some of the right people to your organization. And I'll just wrap up with this. I think we'd all agree timing is everything in business. And if you think about what's going on in our economy right now, look, the cost of everything's going up. Who would agree? The only thing not going up for most people is their income. But if you think about what we do, we help people save money on bills they're already paying. And we help people make money on bills that they're already paying. And we help people make money by teaching people how to save money on bills they're already paying. And guys, in my 18 years doing this, I've never seen more people looking for exactly what we have to offer as I'm seeing right now. And we believe that in the next 3 years, we will do more revenue as a company than we've done in the last 10 years combined because of the timing of the economy. So guys, those of you getting started with this year, you're at the right place at the right time. So pay attention to today's training because you're going to hear from 3 absolute superstars today teaching you exactly how to build this business. And the first trainer here today is an individual that currently is one of the top 10 regional directors in North American ASEAN for the year of 2024. Matter of fact, last night, she promoted somebody in her team to regional director, and she's an amazing trainer and a dear friend of my wife and I's. Regional director, Lauren McQueen, everybody.
Awesome. Well, Jeff, thank you so much, you guys. Let's give it up for Jeff. I have heard him do a presentation probably 1,000 times by now, but I always pick up something new. I'm always a student. I encourage you to be as well. He's been the #1 platinum regional vice president with our company for many, many years. And so we are so blessed to have him in our corner as our leader, but I'm excited to dive into some training. And my topic is customer acquisition. Jeff went over the different bonuses that you can earn when you acquire services and acquire customers. But the reality is customers are so important to your ASEAN business because, and write this down if you're taking notes, no customers equal no money. Okay, so we are a customer acquisition business. But before we dive in, let me introduce myself. So I've been in this industry since I was 19 years old. I was with a different company for many years. I used to sell nutritional supplements and did really well with that. But in 2019, that company that I was with had massive changes within their 4 walls, so to speak, and just didn't align with my values. And so I left, and with leaving that company I built for many years, obviously meant leaving my full-time income. And so for 4 years, I had really been praying for an opportunity to rebuild what I had lost. I love this industry. There's so much freedom that comes to having residual income. And about 1.5 years ago, a friend of mine invited me onto a Zoom call, and I heard a presentation with a company called ASEAN. My husband and I took a look at it. We were blown away. We got started right away. And over the last 1.5 years, we built a team of over 360 business partners, 4,600 customers that use services that we provide every single month. And my favorite service is impact health sharing. You see, my husband is a business owner. He owns a roofing company. And prior to learning about impact health, his company never offered healthcare benefits to their employees. And now they do. And it's such a blessing. So you'll hear me talk a little bit about impact, probably very passionately if you get to know me, but I love all of our services. Let's dive in. So we have one first goal for you. My job is really to teach you how to start making money and continue making money every month. So our first goal is to help you get what's called customer qualified, or what I like to say, commission qualified. So this is known for short as CQ. Why is this important? Well, if you're not commission qualified, there's no way for you to actually get a paycheck from ASEAN. So what is commission qualified? It's having 3 services that total 7 points. You're going to see that every single one of our services has a point value attached to it, but 3 services and 7 points gets you commission qualified. Now, these don't have to be your own services. Although what I did when I joined ASEAN, I looked at all the services they offered. I said, what services am I already paying? What bills am I already paying every month that I can just redirect my spending through ASEAN? So I switched over more than 3 of my own services. So I got myself commission qualified on my own. But you can, get a friend or a family member on a service as well. So once you're commission qualified, you graduate to Friday night leadership. You guys, we had a rockin' Friday night leadership last night. There were so many promotions on there, newly qualified people, executive team leaders, regional directors, $500 bonus earners. We do ton of promotions and recognition, celebration on leadership, but we also get phenomenal training. We did a really deep dive compensation plan training that Jeff Street did, and we had Melissa Street launch a brand new tool to help us acquire customers. And I'm sorry for the people that weren't on leadership last night, because she did such a great job explaining how this is going to help us grow our business. And then last but definitely not least, it puts you in a position to start earning residual income. I don't think any of you are on here without loving the idea of residual income, right? Doing something one time, getting paid on it over and over and over again. Before we jumped on, you know, Megan and Ryan, our special guest trainers, Megan was like, I've had crazy last month or a few months with kids being home for summer. I am so grateful for residual income because I don't have to stress if I can't put as much time into my business. So I love that piece. So just to reiterate what Jeff said, when you acquire 5 services in 1 month time span, you're going to get a $200 bonus. You're also going to get an additional $200 for every 3 services after that. And remember, a service is not a person, it's a bill. So when you get commission qualified, hopefully in your first few days of becoming an ACN IBO, don't stop at those 3 services. Shoot for 2 more and unlock that first $200 bonus. So here's a list of all the services that we offer, or most of them at least. You can see residential, business services, but at the very top, these are our top 6 most simple and lucrative services. When I heard this training for the first time and I heard the word simple and lucrative in the same sentence, I'm like, oh, I want to learn about these services. Okay. So you can see all of these different services have point values attached to it. Don't feel like you have to memorize all the point values right now. You're going to learn in time. But my encouragement to you is pick 2 or 3 of these services to get comfortable with. And we're going to train you. We have a whole separate training on getting comfortable with the services. But when you get comfortable with a few services, what does being comfortable breed? It breeds confidence, right? And when you're confident and knowledgeable about something, you have passion. It's easier to share with people. So I love Zoom Energy. I love Impact Health Sharing. I love Vivint Home Security. Those are my services that I'm very passionate about. I use myself, and I get a lot of people on these services. So you're probably wondering, well, where do my customers come from? Very simple. 3 simple sources. Number 1, yourself. I love that we can be our own customer. I love that every month I pay my internet bill, my cell phone bill, my electricity bill, my healthcare bill. I'm making money back every single month. I'm getting paid to pay my own bills. And then also prospects who you invite to take a look at the income opportunity here. Maybe you invite them onto a Zoom meeting, a Zoom presentation, and they might not decide to join your business and build the business like you are. But many people like to save money, especially right now. So the second source is people who don't join your team as an IBO, but they choose to just become a customer. And you're going to learn one of our best pieces of verbiage when we help you go out and get customers is our favor, why, help, try approach. Who would agree? It feels good to do someone a favor, right? It feels good to bless somebody and know that you're making a difference. And so we're going to teach you how to ask someone for a favor and have them become one of your customers by trying out some of our services. And then of course, source number 3, everybody else. So let's talk about that first source right now. You being your own customer. Why is this important? Well, first of all, if you're going to be an independent business owner, I mean, it says it right there in the title, business owner, right? And so I like to take ownership of my business. I encourage you to do the same thing. I give this example all the time, but if I worked at a Lexus dealership, I'm probably not going to drive around with a Mercedes, right? Even though Mercedes look nice, it's not what pays me, right? When I used to sell nutritional supplements, I used to sell a mental focus energy drink called Spark, and it was amazing. You never saw me walking around with a coffee from Starbucks in my hand because Starbucks doesn't pay me. So I want to use the services that pay me. So think like a business owner, okay? But here's a really big reason why you want to use the services. It creates belief in the services. So you guys, I love Impact Health Sharing. Prior to Impact, I didn't have any type of healthcare coverage. And I'm a very healthy person, but let me tell you, from the time I enrolled with Impact a year and a half ago to now, I've had 3 ER visits. I haven't had ER visits in probably 10 years. Okay. And so I am so grateful for Impact Health because my most recent ER visit 3 weeks ago, they repriced one of my medical bills from just over $4,000 to just over $800. Imagine if I didn't have Impact Health and I had to pay the $4,000, right? So Impact, obviously I have a story, I have belief in it. It is easy for me to share. I also love Vivint Home Security. My husband travels often. And so I'm home alone and we live in a big house and it's scary sometimes. And so I love that we have outdoor cameras, indoor cameras. We have, you know, the glass shattering, whatever you call them. If the glass shatters, then, you know, the alarm system goes off. So I feel super secure, sensors, that's the right word. I feel super secure in my house. Also, the other day I'm on a Zoom call and someone's at my front door, and I don't know about you, I don't love to go answer my front door. So I open my Zoom app, and I mean my Vivint app, and I see who's there, and it's this like guy that looks like he's up to no good, this 20-something-year-old guy on a skateboard. I'm like, I don't know how he got into my community, but I'm not answering the door. So I love that I can just pull up my Vivint app and see who's at my front door, see when a package gets delivered, all that. Last service I'll talk about, Truvi Travel. I don't know about you guys, but when I go to the airport, my husband and I travel a lot. I don't love to sit and try and find a seat. You go throw something in the garbage can and somebody steals your seat, and now you're left standing at the gate for 30 minutes, right? So we love that we have access to the VIP lounges where there is many seats available, everyone's super friendly, free food, free drinks, all the above. So I love Truvi as well. I can go on and on about all the different services, but I hope you can tell by the way I'm speaking, I have belief in the services, right? All right. And now, being your own customer, you also learn the sign-up process. So when I got enrolled with Vivint Home Security, for example, I had somebody, Melissa Street, group text me with a guy named Edgar who works for Vivint and say, Edgar, Lauren's free Thursday at 7 o'clock for a free Vivint quote. Can you give her a call? And Edgar called me Thursday at 7. It was a 15-minute conversation. Before you knew it, I had a tech coming out to my house to install Vivint. It was the most simple process. And now what do I do when I have a Vivint customer? Hey, Edgar, this is Carrie. She's free Wednesday at 8 o'clock for you to give her a call. And I know how to enroll and do that sign-up process. Impact Health. For me, filling out that medical history form online application took me 15 minutes to fill it out, and I was all done. So I can tell my potential customers, hey, you're not gonna have to spend half a day enrolling in healthcare. It's only gonna take you 10 or 15 minutes, all right? And then my favorite reason why we wanna be our own customer, I alluded to this before, is because you can earn up to 20% on your own services. Every month I'm paying my cell phone, internet, home security, healthcare, electricity. I'm earning a commission back every single month. So it just makes sense. You guys, Verizon doesn't pay you, but T-Mobile, AT&T, and Spectrum Mobile do. So keep that in your mind when you're thinking about services. All right, now, I know you guys are thinking, okay, I want to get services. I want to learn about these services. Well, we have a different training that Regional Vice President Platinum Melissa Street does, and it's specific to teach you our top 6 most simple and lucrative services. She also shows you how to navigate your website, your storefront, so you are going to feel so confident in not only knowing how to enroll people, learning some verbiage about the different savings and the benefits of the services, but you're going to know by the end of that training, if you don't already know now, what services do you want to start with. And this is 3 times a week. So our next one is actually in an hour and a half in 90 minutes on Saturdays, 12 p.m. Central, 1 p.m. Eastern, but we also do these Wednesdays during the day as well as Thursday evenings. Now you do have to be enrolled with ACN to be on this training. So as soon as you get enrolled, as soon as you get your IBO number, the next step is going to be schedule when you're going to get on the workshop. Impact Health, like I said, I could talk for an hour about Impact, and the good news is I get to every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Central, 12 p.m. Eastern. Myself and Jeff Street, who you just heard from, we do a deep dive 45 to 60-minute educational webinar for Impact Health. It has nothing to do with the business. It has everything to do with teaching people all about impact. You guys, you can get your potential customers on here, get your impact customers on here, get yourself on here to learn about impact. We have doctors on there. We have business owners. I mean, we have 200 to 400 people on this training weekly. It's phenomenal. So if you want to join our Facebook group, you can scan this QR code right here. It'll take you to our Facebook group. Put all your potential impact customers in there. Put all your current impact customers in there. We send the recording of the webinar to that group every time that we record it. And there's also phenomenal testimonials from people that are impact members using their impact membership when they go to the doctor, the pharmacy, and the hospital. So with that said, you guys, this is my call to action for you. Let's help you get commission qualified. I want to see you on leadership. I want to personally promote you and recognize you on Friday night. So 3 services, 7 points. Do yourself a favor. Don't spend $299 to join ACN to not be in a money-making position, right? Get yourself commission qualified. And our next special guest, you guys, I am so excited because they're going to teach you the other aspect of ACN. One aspect is going out and acquiring customers. The other aspect is leveraging yourself, getting paid on the efforts of people other than yourself, and building a team, having IBOs join your team. And you guys are in for a treat. I love this couple. I got to spend time with them when we earned, for those of you that don't know, ACN does all expenses paid trips once a year that you can earn once you become what's called a regional director. And my first trip was last year. This past year, we went to Turks and Caicos, and I got to spend time with them, picking their brains. You guys, Megan Williams is the queen of impact health sharing. And her husband is Ryan is amazing. They're senior vice presidents in our company, guys, the highest leadership level you could be at. They've been in ACN for over 2 decades, 20 years. And what I love is they build this business together. And so with that said, I'm going to hand it over to Megan and Ryan Williams. Take it away, you guys.
Well, Lauren, before I let you leave, I just want you to know that that was one of the best trainings in 22 years we've done the business, that I can honestly say I was inspired. I loved how simple you kept it. I loved that you see the power of creating residual income and long-term wealth. And I love that you were a customer of everything, because I tell you, Ryan is just learned in 22 years. If ACN gets something new, we get it too. You know, it just makes sense to make money on bills you're spending. And when I saw this, ladies and gentlemen, 22 years ago, I was teaching high school. My younger brother called me up and asked me to be a customer, just like Lauren said. Would you support me and try it to get my business off the ground? And I was excited that it sounded like he was doing a job. Like he'd never had a job in his whole life. I said, sure. And then I said, what am I going to be your customer of? And he said, long distance. I said, will my phone work? He started laughing, and I was a customer 4 minutes later. And what I love about this is over the last, really, you guys, the last 22 years, we have been paid over 500,000 customers who have decided to have more value. And we know what this really can create for each one of you. And we know that you're busy. We know that you are trying to fit this into your busy schedule. We heard both from Lauren and Jeff today, who's also one of our dearest friends ever, that both of them are hardworking individuals, business owners, worked for different jobs, knew that what they were doing wasn't going to get them what they wanted. And when we saw ACN, Ryan and I were both hardworking individuals. I taught high school, he was in law enforcement, and we had no time and no money, and we wanted to be effective. And so what we're going to share today is what has worked for the last 22 years for people to be effective and get the result in their busy schedule. Because the truth is most of us only have a few hours a week to fit this in. But what we love about this, ladies and gentlemen, is you can fit this in. We did this part-time for 22 years. I will be honest, my little 18-year-old who I just dropped off at college this week, and the year he was born, I worked my butt off, and that was my only full-time year. And I just took him on every single presentation I went to. When he got bigger, I got a nanny who drove with us everywhere, and because I wanted to be home. I wanted to work from home, and I wanted to make this happen. But other than that, in the 22 years, we have built this part-time because we know how to be efficient. And so we're going to share with you how to be efficient today. Ryan and I both have different experiences inviting people to see this, because when you invite, you are able to get customers, but you also are able to create leverage and team building because other people like the concept of making money. In fact, right before this call, I helped launch a new business partner. She already has her first customer in the system. She's got 2 services that she can set up today, but both of those individuals who are looking at the services are also looking at the business. And I think that that's really important, that you invite everyone to see what you're up to and let them tell you what you want them, what they want to do, not you tell them what you want them to do. And I think that that is really important. And so it's all about just inviting. So I want to just remind us of a few things really quickly here. I think my screen's showing. Give me a thumbs up, Melissa, if things are showing right. Okay. Zoom did an update. And so I was all confused today because I will be honest, Lauren is right. Over the last month and a half, I have played mom and not done business. And that's what you want, ladies and gentlemen. You want to be able to pick and choose when you work, but you've got to be in a position to make money to do that. You can't say, oh, I have this business now, I'm making residual. No, you got to get going now, and then you're going to reap the benefits of being able to have time and money together. Okay, so we saw today with Jeff, he did such a great presentation. It was phenomenal that we get our store going. We pick services so we can be in a place to start earning money. And then we're going to invite other people to see what we're up to. And then from those invites, we're going to have more services, and we're going to have other individual business owners who want to make money with us. And when that happens, then they will get some services. They're going to be excited because they're in a place to start earning money. And now you also are going to earn what we call a fast start. That means the combined customers between you and your team members are going to earn you an extra $700+. Okay, so let's get to how do we do this. So first thing you want to do is schedule when in your business or in your life you can do ACN. Now, this is very important. If you have a full-time job, then you might pick an afternoon or evening to fit this in. But you have to commit to time for you. The leaders will help present and share. But if you don't pick time to do this business, ladies and gentlemen, you're not going to do the business. So if it was our schedule, we know we have football on Monday nights for our kids as practice. And on Thursday night, we host an impact presentation for our group for any prospective, clients, members, things like that at 8 o'clock. So we know those 2 times we cannot host a Zoom. So we might then say, okay, but I can host a Zoom on Tuesday at 6, and I can host one on Thursday at 4 o'clock. Those are the 2 times. Or maybe I'm going to do Thursday at noon because I know I can do a lunchtime that time around my busy schedule. And now I've got 2 times to invite. You see, if you set up the times, you're going to work towards them. Okay, so you're going to pick the times. Then the second thing you're going to do is you're going to make a list. You're going to put everybody on the list. Stop judging people. Don't think of them as, oh, they'll be a really good customer, or, oh, they're too rich, I don't want to invite them to see what I'm doing, or, oh, they're too poor, or, oh, they're lazy. You don't know. My brother was the laziest boy, I thought, until he saw this business. And then all of a sudden his baseball work ethic came into this business. And so you can't judge anyone. I thought, my mom, you're working 16-hour weeks. How are you going to do this business? Well, now she's a senior vice president with us. And she fitted in because it became important. So you want to put everybody you can think of on a list. Now, from that list, you are going to make educated decisions about who is going to be more option, right, Ryan? Ryan likes to talk about this because I think that sometimes when we make a list, we're judging people. We really don't want to judge people, but we do want to look at certain people are going to be more open to conversations. So Ryan, go ahead and talk a little bit about that because I love that.
Yeah, so it's not a matter of judging people, and this is really the point of the training topic is sometimes we project on people based upon their income, education, current status, that they would or would not be interested. To be honest with you, in my former background in law enforcement, I was a bit stuck in my own ways. But if someone didn't step out of their own comfort zone to at least invite Megan and I to come look at this, we would not be and have the lifestyle we enjoy today if someone didn't love us enough to extend to us an opportunity. So think of it like a gift. You're not trying to sell someone on an opportunity. Our job is to invite and to share, to empower those individuals to make their own educated decision as to whether this vehicle is something right for them. So when we create this list, it is literally everyone in your cell phone. The idea here is to put everyone down on a list that you know. We're not saying your best 5 friends, we're saying everyone. And the longer you know them, kind of the better. But here's what will happen. In this list, we want to identify criteria that we have found over the years lends to a greater acceptance rate. So our efficiency goes up. Yes, we're going to talk to everybody. So here's what will happen. When you have your list written down on a sheet of paper, then you're going to put down who do you know or who of these people have ever been a business owner. And so you put a little mark next to their name and put a B, means they're a business owner. Why would you want to know that? Well, because business owners like Jeff Street understand very well the cost of operating a business. There are monetary costs. There's rent, there's retail, there's marketing, there's expenses, there's overhead. I had never owned a business, so I did not understand the dynamic of what a business owner goes through. You think that all business owners are rich and live on yachts and spend no time working, and they just get to live lives of luxury. That's not the reality. Business owners understand the economy hits them first, and they get paid last. So business owners are good to talk to because of their reality, their perspective. Then you talk to people that are self-employed. Think of people that are in the medical field. With this powerful tool called Impact, we are literally on a crusade to change the landscape of healthcare. This is a revolution that we get to take part in that is amazing. And to be honest, there are doctors and there are physicians that are fed up with the traditional insurance group telling them what their time is worth. But if they can create a relationship with a different entity and a different group that will pay them essentially more money for their efforts rendered, they're happy to create new relationships. So who do you know that's in the medical field? Invite them to jump on and learn about this. Who do you know that's like Lauren had former experience in direct sales or network marketing? Do you have to have experience? Heavens no. But if you know someone that did it and was actually kind of successful at it, then some of these fundamental principles they already understand. And then we find people that are everyone else. We use an acronym in our group called WHIP, W-H-I-P. And what it stands for is people that have a work ethic. That's the W. The H stands for people that have hunger. They're looking for something more. Maybe they're at a glass ceiling in their current occupation. They kind of feel like I can't improve anymore. I can't work more than 16 hours in a day. Who do you know that has integrity, that has honesty, that'll follow through on what they do? And the P stands for personal influence. See, Megan's younger brother was not a business owner. He was not self-employed. He had not done network marketing or direct sales. He was not a doctor or a physician, but he had work ethic. He had hunger. He had drive. He had determination. He had charisma. When you start identifying people, it becomes easier to invite those people into an environment like this presentation Mr. Jeff Street did. And those people go, I see it. This is a spark. This is a life vest that can help change me. So the reason we're spending time on this is because too many people put so much mental anguish into determining whether or not they're going to invite someone, when the reality is our job is just to make a big old list, invite people to the 2 dates and the 2 times you've selected in your schedule that work for you, and find out what number of people are going to be able to attend. If you invite someone for Tuesday at 6 o'clock and they say they're busy, and we'll go through the inviting script here in just a second, then you pivot to your secondary date and time as your backup. That's why having 2 dates and 2 times are critical for your own individual grand openings for your own business. There are communal events that your teams host, and those are great secondary options, but you need to commit to your own business to grow it. Over invite, right? If you want to have a large grand opening, you want to have as many people there as possible to support you. This is the part that I liked about this process is, listen, I'm not trying to get Lauren necessarily to do what I'm doing. I want Lauren to understand, listen, I'm excited about this new opportunity I've come across. I'm working strategically with someone I admire and respect that's had success. I'd love for you to jump on in support of me, Lauren, of what I'm excited about in my future, because you might see what I see, or you might know someone that would like maybe what you've seen. So again, it's an indirect way of inviting somebody where you're talking about your excitement and your passion, so you're not trying to hunt them down. I'm not trying to hunt people and kill them. I'm inviting them because I'm excited about my business. I'm excited about what the future is going to create for me. And listen, it's not a matter of being frustrated or I'm broke or it's because of debt. Listen, there are a lot of very wealthy, very successful people that are building ACN not out of desperation. They've had the greatest financial year of their lives in 2023 and 2024, yet they're still deciding to incorporate ACN. Why is that? because they see value and opportunity in the future and they can help other people. So your messaging around why you see value will be different based upon your situation and your scenario, but you need to have a repeated or not a script, but you need to practice what you're going to say when you invite so it comes off natural, that you're not stumbling over your words and trying to figure it out. So this is a great example of a script that is generally utilized by most organizations and by most teams.
Yep, there you go. It's ready.
So here's the script. Generally, we start off with a very simple question is, hey, Jeff, I got a question. With everything going on, do you look at other ways of making money? This is called a sorting question. Because if Jeff just had the greatest 2023 or 2024 of his life, he may not be interested in this moment in an additional way to create income. So it's a better use of your time to call someone that is open to an opportunity outside of what they're currently doing. The vast majority of people that when you ask this question say, yeah, it depends on what it is. That is the most common answer you're going to get is yes, it depends on what it is, because that gives them a little bit of an out if it seems a little bit odd or crazy. Because if you're like, hey, we're going to go skydiving for money, they can say, I'm not interested in that kind of thing, right? So the most common answer to do you look at other ways of making money is yes, with a caveat.
Yeah.
Yes, it depends on what. The second part, your story. Why are you excited about this? What is it in your life that you're building this for? Again, it's not for all people. Yes, we had tremendous debt, but we were frustrated by the time limitations we had given how hard we were working. So our story was not just about debt. It was about quality of life.
That's
and
right.
we've been trying to figure out this year how to become, better stewards of our time and have greater success. So we would share that with our friends, our contacts, the people on our list, because remember, these are not people on a street corner we don't know. All of these are people that we know. So we then talk about the person that we're working with. We call that edifying. That's to speak highly of an individual that we get the opportunity to work with. Because I don't want to be looked at or viewed when I'm brand new as the expert. I'm just the inviter. I'm not the presenter. So I want to get out of the way so people don't view me as the obstacle. Because to be honest, when my wife's 22-year-old brother, who never held a job in his life, was going to try to explain to me an opportunity and I was a cop, bro, I was not nice to him. I'm like, dude, you're an idiot. What do you know about anything, right? So if he made himself the object of the conversation, it would have created more problems for me to have listened to him because in his situation, he wasn't credible.
That's right.
He got out of the way and said, listen, bro, it's not about me. I would love for you to meet an individual that's had a tremendous amount of success.
Yeah, it's so nice, you guys, to be able to do this part-time and to know that you have a support system. And that's one of the biggest things people are looking at when you're inviting them is what do I have to do if I end up liking this? And so if you are trying to do everything yourself, now, Mr. Jeff Street and Miss McQueen and us, we are the experts too. We do this full time. We're making success like crazy. But the majority of all of us are doing this part-time. I would say 99% of us. And so when you show that there is a group, whether it's the newest, we learned from a lady who's only been in it for 30 days, but she already has 68 services. This is huge. I'm so excited. I'm working with someone who's having success. So again, the biggest thing is when you invite, you share your story and then you pivot and say, and I'm working with some people who are helping us so much. I want you to jump on and hear it from them. Whether they're brand new or whether they've been in the business like us for 22 years, you have someone in your corner and the new person who's listening and learning wants to know they have someone too.
And this presentation is going to be short. That's the thing I love about this business is we're only going to spend 15 or 20 minutes having a conversation about the opportunity.
That's right.
With the exception of a training like Impact, where it might be 30, 45 minutes or an hour, but we've set context. So when you're inviting people just for a quick 15, 20-minute conversation about this opportunity, the brevity of it is attractive to people because we're not taking a lot of their time and everyone can carve out 15 to 20 minutes to learn about a way to create some additional income.
Yeah, I worked with a friend of mine yesterday and we went and had a coffee with a friend and she signed up in the business yesterday. She's already got her first and second customer outside of herself. She just texted me when we were talking. but the presentation itself was 10 minutes. The big part was getting to know each other, asking what she's looking for, and then we moved forward. And I think that that's why we want you to host your own Zooms, ladies and gentlemen, is so that we can meet each of us and each of you and your friends and family and find out what is their trigger point. What are they looking for, right? Because when we're inviting them, it might not be timing. So again, when we're done with the presentation, we're going to promote the meeting or set up a conference call or a follow-up about services, or we're going to invite them to Impact because they want to know more. We're going to help you sort the people. And that's what I want you to realize is people are apple, oranges, or coconuts. That's how we look at it. It's all about timing. And apple is immediate. They're ready to go. An orange takes a little time to peel, answer questions. We need to have some one-on-one. And then last but not least, a coconut, they're just not ready to be a nice virgin pina colada yet. So it's good. Okay. So now by hosting a Zoom, you're going to have a story because you're going to have people who want to support you and be a customer. We're going to have people who want to be in your team, and we're going to be able to help them learn how to do the business. So last thing, let's go over a little bit of mindset, which we did as we went, but it's a commitment. And so here's what we want to listen. This is the part that is the most important, is it's fun. If someone says, I want to do this, but then they give you every excuse not to host a Zoom, not to talk to anyone, not to do it, then just ask them to be your customer and move on. It's not the right time for them to do the business. When we're doing the business, this should be a fun, professional excitement. We should want to talk to people about it. I'm going to give a great example. Dawn, my newest partner, and we just launched her. She was at work yesterday, and her business owner, she started talking about impact because she knows it's a savings. She's excited to have healthcare. She doesn't get healthcare with her company. And so she started talking to the owner, and the owner has a zillion questions. And she said, I want you to meet Megan. And the owner said, okay, that was it. But if you don't want to talk about it to people, you guys, then don't do the business. Just be a customer because you got to want to do it. It's all in our heads. It's all in our heads. See, me and Ryan look at Impact Health and we look at the multi-billion-dollar company that insurance is. We've had 22 years of having 3 boys and a lot of medical expenses, and we understand how it operates, and it's worth a few extra steps to be part of a privatized group. Not only the savings, but the value and the advocacy is amazing. Just recently, my sister had a full knee replacement, and Impact helped her every step of the way. It was not an easy process because some doctors are a little bit more demanding, like, I want to get paid up front and I want to be 500%. Impact helped her walk through everything, and she was able to get what she needed to do so her knee could work and she could walk. Now, ladies and gentlemen, again, it's not for everybody. Some people don't want to do an introduction to a great business. That's okay. So again, here's how I want you to think of this. If you're excited and you're having fun, that's how it should work. If you're being professional, we're never going to convince someone to do something they don't want to do. Just so you guys know, this isn't one of those things where like, get 500 people in your team and get them to buy all this crap that they don't need, want, or use. No, we're going to just share. You have a bill. We'd love to work together either in creating income for yourself from the bills you're using, from the referrals you can give, or we're going to say, be a customer and support your friend if it's the right fit. We are going to just be professional. And here's what I know. I have had friends who for 11 years ignored me because it was network marketing. And when they finally sat down and saw the savings, the value, and what they could do, not only did they become a customer, they became a business partner and built huge customer base of value. So again, we know it's going to be a roller coaster ride. We know that some people are going to tell us yes, and some people are going to tell us no, and some people are going to be excited, and some people are going to tell you you're crazy to add something to your busy schedule. And so you're going to feel all these things. But what I want you to think about it kind of like dating or making friends. Sometimes you're going to be friends with people and sometimes you're not. And sometimes you're going to date people and sometimes you're not. Sometimes you get married for 25 years and you love each other. But sometimes you can't stand each other. That's probably more my side than his, right? Because I'm the crazy one in our relationship. You guys, life is a roller coaster. Nothing's different about ACN. You just have to learn how to have fun with it and enjoy it, because again, how you respond will be how people respond to you, not just now, but also in the future. So we want you to have fun. It's normal. All the responses are normal. Just say, great. Whether they say, I don't like to do business outside of what I'm doing, great. Would you like to support me and save some money or see if there's a fit? Yes, I would. See, a no can become a yes. It doesn't matter. And last but not least, we have environments to win. This training has been good for me and Ryan. And we've been doing this for 22 years. I loved hearing Miss McQueen's different point of view. I love working with Jeff and Melissa. They're some of our favorite people who not only are fantastic at this business, but they're fantastic people that if you get a chance to work with them, you're going to do great. And all of us, we all get the same company. We all get the same services, but you get to decide if you want to be part of this environment and win. And so we're going to invite you to the next live training that we have. We have the one that they're doing in Dallas, Texas, which we saw, which is awesome. And I'm going to invite a couple people, you too. I hope that's all right. And then we have the one in Orlando, Florida in October, which we are bringing a ton of people to get to know our owners and get to know how to do this and meet people and feel good about it. Because everything is a stepping stone. You start as a business owner and you have no idea what you're doing. And then we're going to help you get some, services. We're going to help you like we did today. Just invite. We're going to help you host the Zooms, share it with people, sort through people. And then we heard some great things that I meant to text Melissa and say, I want to know what you taught on Friday Night Leadership. Give me some of those little tools that you guys made. And then we come to our Elevate events that take us to our next level, because we know who we're in businesses with, and we know that this is real. To create a residual income, you guys, $500, $1,000, $5,000 a month. What would it do for your life to have reoccurring income? So with that, we are so grateful that we get to be part of this. Oh, here's the other slide. I forgot to show it again for the QR code for this Saturday in Dallas with our fun rock stars. And we love our rock star friends. This system will we always do really good together. We love that. And so this is great. We love Mr. and Mr. Kupis, Tony and Mike, who are twins. I have twin boys. I love my twinners. It's great. You're going to really feel comfortable with all the aspects of our business as you go to this event. And it's so wonderful that they're open to all of the teams, whether we are rock stars or the system or whatever, which we love. And then last but not least, here is the details for Orlando in October. And I'm so excited about that. Is there anything else you want to add about training? I think training is just great.
No, it's the most important element of your business is investing in yourself, right? To build a foundation of confidence in what it is you're doing. It's okay for a period of time to borrow the confidence of leaders that have had success. But as you build success for your own, it creates a different element of projection when you're talking to other people. So the reason action is so critical for you to succeed is because it transfers from a borrowed hope, a borrowed faith, into your own conviction of experience, because you've walked the walk yourself. And so these leadership events that the Rockstar Nation has created for you with both the Coupises are invaluable to the success of your development because of the experience that you get to have, for the opportunity to meet the owners and to interact with them on a very intimate level, where that is not common in corporate worlds. No matter where you come from in your various occupations, career fields, or whatever, it is unlikely you have the type of intimate interaction you have with owners of a company the size that ACN is at such a reasonable level. Like, the amount of their approachability is fantastic. And all of this, again, is designed to elevate your ability to have positive, strong conversations, because you are going to create a force of awakening within your own community based upon your own experience. And that is going to help you propel your business. These are worthwhile, the time, energy, and expenses. And I'd be willing to put their money on the line and tell you, if you commit to attending these types of events and the experience wasn't worth it, they would refund to you the registration costs, because no one attends these events and does not have a positive experience to say, man, this is worth 10 times more than I spent to get here because of what I learned, not because of pomp and rah-rah, but because of the experience, the education, and the foundation that was laid for me. That's what I love about it.
That's right. So we want to give this back to Jeff for the call to action. Is that right, Jeff? Am I doing it right? Is it to you? Okay, good. Let me bring you back. One of my dearest friends ever. I love Jeff and Melissa. Not only, like I said, you guys are the amazing leaders and business owners and so hardworking, but they have hearts of gold. And I will just say thank you guys so much for the sweet letter you sent my mom the other day. Like, you guys are just worth everything. Big piles of gold. So we're glad we got to share some of our insights. We know we've had great ups and downs in this business, and we're excited for all of your success. Let's build some residual income together. Thanks, Jeff. Thanks, Melissa. Thanks, Lauren.
Well, Megan, Ryan, thank you guys so much for being on the call here today. You guys are two of my favorite trainers in all of ACN, and love the dynamic between the two of you guys, how you feed off each other, just amazing teachers of the ACN business. How many agree? Nobody's surprised to learn that Megan used to be a high school teacher, right? And, again, I just love how you guys pour into other people. So thank you so much, guys. Let's give them a huge round of applause for, being on here today. And look, a couple last things in closing is number one, as Ryan and Megan talked about, belief is one of the biggest factors for people to have success in anything, if not, number one. And so I'm so excited about the event next weekend. Look, it's not too late for you to join us. If you're somebody that's like, hey, I'm just finding out about this today, but I got to figure it out. How can I get there? Look, my wife and I, we've become professional travel agents. Like, not really, but really, if that makes sense. Just teaching people so we know how to go out and find some of the best airfare, best programs. There's places for people to stay. So if you're here today, finding out about this for the first time, like, hey, I want to go, but I just don't know what that's going to look like. Reach out to us personally. Let us help you navigate that. I believe that next weekend will literally put somebody 6 months ahead of the average person. But look, as we wrap things up here today, we have a product training workshop literally in an hour. So those of you that are new, they're like, oh, I want to go on one of those product training workshops with Melissa. There is one today at 12 o'clock Central Time. So make sure you get the information of that. And we're going to open up some breakout rooms here in a second so you can debrief with your leaders. And look, here's what you really want to talk about in your breakout rooms. I loved how Megan and Ryan talked about getting those first 2 meetings scheduled for yourself. Look, the hardest part of winning a race is getting off the starting line. When I opened up my first cell phone store 25 years ago, whenever it was, the day that the sign went from closed to open is when customers started to come in, and all of a sudden my business was able to start creating revenue. So in ACN, the way that your business goes from closed to open is having that first meeting that Megan and Ryan talked about. So go into the breakout rooms, pick a date, pick a time for your first meeting. And if you were here today, just taking a second look at this, look, I hope you feel in your heart what we felt. And if that's you, welcome to the team. We'll get you enrolled today. And we look forward to having you be part of our team and part of our family. So with that being said, God bless everybody. And we're going to open up the breakout rooms.
All right. Let me stop recording.